Welcome back to this playthrough between El Condoro and Nicholas Wolf playing Orb and Crown. It's turn 6 and we're just about to have a look at the replay. I imagine that Prince Ammon will continue to build up his forces and Guildford will be aiding him with extra forces as well. So he got rid of his ship. And continues to pound away at my city. Okay. So we've got a little bit of damage there. Nothing to worry about at this stage. The Dwarf Kingdom is sympathetic to Angford. Okay, so they put a little bit of effort into trying to get the dwarves on side. And Buyaron is about to prepare for war. So we'll have the tunnel open to us next turn, I imagine. Alright, so we have our first unit, which is an elite unit to be deployed in Andania. And because I know that this area here is quite fractious and is likely, or at least possible, that it will rebel, I am going to keep this this elite unit near my leader and place it just there. Okay, let's go back and have a look at Jotunheim. Now I might just move these guys up a bit, ready for the eventual mobilization of Buyaron. Move a leader up. What else do I need? Let's have a look. I need to keep some other stuff to guard against incursions into my land as I continue to try and get Transmorodonia here on side. Not only does that give me extra gold pieces, it also gives me an extra avenue of attack if I choose to attack against the Mulkan over here. Okay, so I think that'll do for now. Put the fanatics in the castle there because, you know, they just like it. We'll move the bombers, the big wings up the tunnel. Well, they're actually over the tunnel. We've got to use a little bit of imagination here. The ground units are going through the mountains. The air units are going over the mountains. Alright, the Vikings continue to move across. And they are sitting on 81%, so it won't take very much longer and they will be mobilized, ready to attack. And perhaps more importantly, they'll be ready to start putting in some diplomacy to get their other allegiance on board. North Delm, East Kilmar, West Kilmar, and Scoresbone Islands down here. They're all Viking lands, they all aid Mittelheim, they all send units and gold pieces to assist them. Draka, meanwhile, is going to finish off these garrison units here in Goodrich quite easily. And we will take Goodrich, and we will... Now, will I attack this unit here? I could, and I would do quite a bit of damage to them. Let's see what my air unit will do against them. So it does 1 point. That's not bad. Ooh, and there's another elite behind them. So in that case, I will reinforce them, which is the reason that I move this leader across. Otherwise, they won't have the supply value needed. Ooh, and I lost quite a bit of strength from my big wings unit here. I'll have to sort that out next turn. These guys continue to be annoying, so I think the threat that's coming from the east means that Draka might need to stay where he is, at least for another turn. But Xandar's keep will fall at some stage in the not too distant future. Okay. Sometimes I think it's better off if I actually take the town of Holtus rather than continue trying to take out the keep. What could these guys do? I don't have any need for the fanatics at this stage, so not up there anyway. So I think I'll bring them down here just in case. So they move that fast not because they are necessarily a flying unit. They move that fast because they are being carried on litters and moving very, very quickly with the carriers of those litters, who are the strongest in the units that Draka commands. So that's, they look like they're flying, but they're actually moving on the ground in most cases. Some of them do fly. Leave that unit where it is, moving down to Andania here. I will continue to build up the navy, and eventually, well, not too distant future, I will start to move them down to cut off what is likely to be an attempt by the Tribal League to cut off my trade routes. Alright, now they're sitting on 80%, so a little way to go, and they too will mobilise, and my first diplomacy will be to try and bring Memont on side. They are very valuable. They are the way through to get to Angford over here to attack them, and they also give their gold pieces as well. Potentia, just move the Empress down a little bit closer, and eventually she'll sit in here and start building up an army ready to attack and activate wherever they are needed. They're sitting on 67%, so got quite a little way to go yet. And finally, the Golden Khanate have their air units now, so I'll move them down. In Auburn Crown, it is possible to operate air units. There's no operation of land units, so all land units need to actually move into their positions through the road network, and that of course slows them down. It's based on a weekly speed, so they can only move by land, whereas the air units can, if you want to pay for it. For example, if I wanted to operate this land unit down quickly, it's going to cost me 45. Says MPPs there. I have to see about fixing that. 45 gold pieces. I don't want to waste that kind of money, and I'm going to move them down just manually. Alright, so that garrison is on 3, and it's held out quite well. Probably not for long. There you go. So Fort Nergal has now been taken, and I'm going to continue moving down this way. Probably better off doing it with the light cavalry. So I'll do that next turn and leave them where they are. So that city, or town more so, that's being attacked will continue to be attacked, but I don't think that the Ancients are going to be in a position to launch an attack for a little while yet. Alright, scrolling out to have a quick look. Everything seems to be in order, so I'll end the turn. Yeah, they were out of supply at the beginning of the turn, so they've suffered attrition. Sappers have completed the next part of the fortification. Imhotep has moved again, so 10% this time and 14% last time, 24%, that's good. Plus there is an automatic ticking over of their mobilization as well, so they'll be moving towards an allegiance soon. That's how much gold we're getting. Andania is doing quite okay because it's opened up its trade route here to the Andanian Federation, and Potentia continues to climb. The other major countries are losing a bit of money through the decisions that they've taken. Okay, so that's the end of the turn, and thank you for watching.